Oh man, so Fantom and Near Protocol, two promising and innovative layer 1 solutions. Is now the time to be stacking both of these great projects going into potentially a recession, a great financial crisis, and maybe even World War III. In this video, we're going to break down the key levels and whether I'm stacking these projects right now. Cool. We're also going to touch on Bitcoin as well and whether now is the time to stack. If you want to buy any of these cryptocurrencies, you could do so using the links in the description to BYBIT or BitGet, the two platforms I personally use to trade every single day. Link is in the description. Before we get straight into that, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin is worryingly falling from this triangle pattern we've been monitoring. I said if we do not hold this level, we will be coming down to, in my opinion, to this 18,700 level at the green channel, right? It's the bottom of this green channel, which we've been in for a long period of time, but I'm scared that if we're unable to hold this at the next attempt, and we've tested it way too many times more than my liking, we could be heading to those lows, those June lows of 17,600. The global economy is not looking good right now. We've got the US market opened up very tentatively today. This week is huge. If you've not watched my video from yesterday explaining why this week is so critical from a macro perspective and from a Bitcoin perspective, go watch my video posted last night. But we've got the FOMC minutes coming out on Wednesday. On Thursday, we've got CPI data. Huge week coming up. Then on Friday, the Michigan consumer sentiment. And look, the next week, we're going to get earnings. We're going to get company earnings. And this is going to be huge because we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. If companies come out and produce really good earnings, Jerome Powell is going to be on the back foot to say, okay, that's going to create more inflation. We're going to need to make sure we increase interest rates higher and for longer, right? So either way, we're damned. If the earnings come in low, market's going to fall as well. So we're in a very tricky position. And now would be a very good time, like I've been warning about, to prepare yourself for an even longer ditch. And I know this is difficult because a lot of people are saying, oh, but we've been falling for a whole year now. But I'd rather tell you what I'm seeing. And if the data's telling me that, I can't say, oh, no, we've already been down for 12 months. We have to rally now. No, the evidence is not showing me that. Inflation has not started to come down meaningfully. The Russia-Ukraine war has continued to escalate. Right? This is not a political channel, but this has continued to escalate. I said this needs to be taken off our worries. Investors care about these things. We're the Bank of England still stimulating the economy here. So these things are not expiring. So now let's get straight into Fantom and Near Protocol because that's what you're here for, right? You want to find out, are these the projects to be jumping into right now? Now, as you guys know, I've been invested in Fantom for a long time. I've had the opportunity to buy this in the lows and in the highs, and I've built out a big position. So for me, actively, I made a video on why I'm not currently buying myself. But if I didn't have a position, would this be a project I would be buying into? And the answer would be yes. From me, I personally would be buying Fantom at these levels. I mean, you're looking at some crazy levels here on Fantom. And the best way to illustrate this to you is to do so using your Fibonacci swing lows to swing highs. And if you look at this swing low to swing high, what I can show you here is we're right at the lows. We're right at this 0.7 line, around 21 cents. We're at some of our low, well, we are at our lows of this year. You're now at price points last seen in July 2021. So this is crazy. You didn't have to buy in at the top all the way here at $3. And now if you take swing low to swing high and you just look at the Fibonacci golden pocket, Fantom has a comfortable risk return in my opinion. And again, do your own research. But in my opinion, I would be shocked if Fantom can navigate this bear market and they could not comfortably get back to $2 to $2.39 range, which is an incredible risk to return on your money now. I mean, it's more than a 10x, right? It's a 12x there on your Fantom. So huge return there available just from your Fibonacci retracement. But then you can argue, hang on a second, this is a project with great tech, great adoption, great user base. Yes, they're struggling right now because of the collapse of DeFi. Nobody's using DeFi, but at the peak of things, they had some of the best total value locked metrics out there. People were using the ecosystem, right? They've now managed to sort out their sunset date problem, which gives them some more longevity and another 4 or 5 year runway in terms of that as well. So now the question would be, why can't it at least get back to all-time highs at $3.30? Then you're looking at 15x, 16x on your money back to there. And then you ask yourself, hang on a second, even that, there was so much more potential in Fantom that's not been unlocked. If you compare how undervalued it was, even at the peak, pound for pound relatively to how some of the other layer 1 blockchains were moving, with the same amount of total value locked or pound for pound, when you look to the ratio, Binance Coin, Terra Luna at the time, many of these projects were valued far greater than Fantom was in terms of market cap to TVL. And I've made videos on that. I'll link them up so you guys can go watch them. But just search my name and Fantom and you'll find those kind of videos where I break down why it was so undervalued. So then you ask yourself, why couldn't it get to this Fibonacci extension? Why couldn't it get to the 1.618 mark, sitting here at $5.60? And for me, that would not be a crazy price target for Fantom. That is achievable. I mean, when we were sitting there, it feels like ages ago, but this was only in Jan of this year. You're sitting there at $3.29. I mean, $3.37, sorry, at the high. There's no reason this project could not go in the next bull run and easily eclipse this. So I even think this is conservative here compared to some of the other targets people can lay out for Fantom. So definitely for me, this is something that I'd want as part of my portfolio. Now, it's important to caveat this with the fact that this is not a large market cap project. It's a smaller market cap project. I mean, if you go into CoinMarketCap, the two projects we're monitoring, and as you can see here, we're sitting in a market cap of $500 million. This is very, very small, even by bear market territory. To put this into context, $500 million versus Binance's 44 billion market cap currently. XRP is still sitting at 25 billion right now. You look at Cardano, 14 billion. They don't have the same amount of total value locked as Fantom does. Yes, it has a lot more notoriety. I'm also invested in Cardano, but it's sitting there at 14.3 billion. Solana, with all their outage, but they've got huge adoption, we know that, 11.7 billion. So you can see Fantom is a very small market cap project, and for that reason, cannot have a huge part of my portfolio. It cannot have a part of my portfolio to the level of a Cardano or Solana, just because I want to keep my risk managed and contained. Now, as the market cap gets bigger, I'm more than happy to allow Fantom to have a bigger slice of the pie in my portfolio, but for now, it has to be a carefully crafted piece just because of the risk involved. High risk, high return, right? But also high pain if it goes the other direction. So that's my stance on Fantom. But another one, which a lot of people are talking about now, is Near Protocol. Now, Near Protocol is sitting at $3.45, and the question now is, where can Near Protocol get to, right? What's the potential behind Near Protocol, and would I be invested? Well, before we jump into that, there's a few things I want to share with you, and that is on Near Protocol, 2.8 billion, right? So this is more than 5x the market cap of Fantom, which we were just looking at. Now, you can make loads of arguments about who's got the better technology, who's got the better adoption, who's got the better ecosystem, but they're both very good, innovative layer one solutions. And that's my mindset right now. My mindset right now is once we get through this bear market, we're going to enter this period where capital is going to start flowing back into crypto. Whether it's in 6 months, whether it's in 12 months, whether it's in 18 months, I couldn't care less. We've got to get through this recession. We've got to get through a global financial crisis. And then money will start to flow back into risk assets. Do you think money is never going to flow back into the stock market? Do you think money's never going to flow back into NASDAQ and high growth stocks? And at that same point, those same funds will be looking for yield. They'll be investing in crypto again. They'll start investing in Bitcoin. Then no doubt they'll put some into Ethereum. Then you'll get other projects like Solana and Cardano moving. And no doubt that money will trickle down into other good, innovative layer one solutions. That's the narrative, right? Because without the layer ones, we don't have anything. We don't have an ecosystem. So that money is going to flow down. And that is why I'm so heavily focused and have been for the last 12 to 18 months on solid layer one solutions and making sure I do not have any shortage of the good layer one solutions. I'm not here to say, oh, I don't like that project, therefore I'm not going to have it in my portfolio. If I think it's a good, solid platform, if I think it's got some runway and it's going to be able to get into the next bull run, I want to give it a little piece in my portfolio, right? And that's how I'm thinking about Near Protocol and Fantom. So when I look at Near Protocol, it's a bit more pricey. And I've made a breakdown of why I think so. Go check those out. I'll link the videos up. It is more pricey. You are paying more pound for your buck, in essence, for Near Protocol than you are for Fantom. Fantom is more underrated in my opinion, but it's a little bit more risky. You've got a little bit more security with Near Protocol, given some of their partnerships and given some of their growth. And they've had some really phenomenal growth. I mean, if you look at the number of weekly commits and active devs, Near Protocol is up there, right? Only beaten by Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cosmos. So definitely one of the bigger, more powerful platforms in terms of the amount of developer activity. Then you can look at the fact that they had a partnership with Google, right? So Google Cloud is now partnering with any dApp developers who are building on Near will get access to the technical support from Google Cloud as well. Now that's really good. Let's face it, these dApp developers have so many options of where to go build right now. They can go build on Polygon, they can go build on Cosmos, they can go build on Ethereum, they can build on Cardano now, they can build on Fantom, they can build on Near Protocol. What's going to differentiate them to make them come want to build for you? One, do they get a grant? Do they get access to money to come build in your ecosystem? Do you have good partnerships like this with Google and Google Cloud? Do you have a good ecosystem? Do you have a good community? These are all the things that matter. So the layer one blockchains, which are starting to build these things out, are going to incrementally do better than the others who are not focused on this. They're not offering a nice package to make it really attractive for the best minds, the best app developers to build on your ecosystem. Let's face it, if one killer dApp is built by the next Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk on a layer 1 solution, it's going to take that layer 1 solution with it to the moon. That's the reality. If somebody builds a killer use case on a layer 1, that layer 1's going to go to the moon with it. So you want to attract the best minds onto your ecosystem. You don't want them building on another platform. You want them building on your layer 1. So there's a real fight for talent going on right now behind the scenes. And the winners of those battles will emerge in the next couple of years as we get some really serious dApps being built in Web3. Now, if we also take a look at the address growth, you can see Near Protocol's been phenomenal. I mean, this year they've had a really strong year in a bear market, growing from 2.2 million addresses here, according to Near Coverage, shout out to them on Twitter, to 20.5. So that's a huge 800% return, only matched by Flow. Sorry, not matched by Flow. It's half. Flow's managed less than half of that. Avalanche, about an eighth of that, 120%, which is still impressive in a bear market crypto winter. And Fantom, also 100%. So these are your fast-moving platforms right now. Algorand also gets a shout out. Polygon is also in there, and of course Ethereum as well. So these are the ones which are growing in total number of addresses, which is showing that there is adoption. So what are we looking at in terms of price? Well, again, if we apply the same logic and apply our swing low to swing high, and by the way, you can see that Near Protocol is doing a little bit better than Fantom, right? So if you look at Near Protocol, its low on this was 260-ish, okay? So in the 260, 270 range. We're now sitting at $3.45, so we're not completely at our zero level on our Fibonacci low. So then if you look at the golden pocket, you're looking at a comfortable risk to return $13.90 to $14.4 here on Near Protocol. So a nice risk to return. You're looking at that 4.5, 5x, and I'd be really disappointed if anybody's buying into Near Protocol now and the Near Protocol team couldn't at least get back to here in a bull run. You'd be very, very disappointed. So that would be my base case. Then, obviously, you want it to return to all-time highs. I think they've got a lot of untapped potential. I've just shown you that whilst the price has gone from here all the way down to here, the number of addresses has gone up, the amount of development activity has gone up. So they're making good progress from a fundamental perspective. But obviously, the price action is not suiting it because we're heading into a recession, we're in a global financial crisis, and things don't look great. We're in the midst of a crypto winter, so naturally price action is going to be heading to the downside. But then if we want to look at our Fibonacci ratio, which is a slightly more pushy target, then you're looking at $30, and that's where things really start to get interesting, is can you then get that $30 target on Near Protocol? And if you're looking at that $13 target, then you're looking at a comfortable 8 to 9x on your money there, which is a really good risk to return ratio on a layer 1 solution. Again, these are conservative targets in my opinion. You can make cases why this could not be a lot bigger. And to put that into perspective, let's do it like this, right? Near Protocol sitting there at 2.8 billion, right? You can make an argument that this could comfortably reach the size of Ethereum because Ethereum is sitting at 160x. In a bear market, Ethereum should be pushing on to 10 grand. Right? So if Ethereum's at $10,000 in a bull market, sitting there close to 1 trillion, 1.5 trillion, then why can't you make the argument that Near Protocol can get to 160 billion in market cap? You can. It's just right now it doesn't feel like that because you're in the midst of a crypto winter. If you want to watch my video of how many Near Protocol you need to own to become a cryptocurrency millionaire, in that video, I explain exactly the different price targets I think Near Protocol could hit and how many of the tokens you would therefore need to become a Near Protocol millionaire. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to go watch that video here. Smash all the likes and subscribe if you want to buy any crypto, BYBIT and BitGet. Links in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.